Tonight, the intense effort to track him down.
You don't want to lose a child because of a non-working fire hydrant.
Frightening find why life-saving fire hydrants just steps from homes are out of service. And it looks legit, but a lucrative ad spreading on social media could cost you big time. Tonight, the warning signs and how to avoid the scam.
CBS 12 News starts now with breaking news.
And they're breaking news right now. The search is on for a suspected serial arsonist who allegedly torched thousands of dollars worth of RVs at a business in Riviera Beach. Look at the video right there. Tonight, we're learning this isn't the first time the man with ties to our area has started fires before. CBS 12's Lily Ortiz joining us live in Riviera Beach tonight with new details on the arsonist state investigators are now looking for. Lily, good evening.
Paul, take a look at this poster over here, the wanted poster. Investigators say they are looking for Benjamin Harris. They say he's responsible for destroying multiple RVs still parked outside of Bill Waits' business.
This is a guy that police called the suspect that torched several RVs at our dealership on Sunday.
Inside Bill Waits' home, we take a closer look at this surveillance video taken last weekend, the night of the arson. It shows who Waits and state investigators say is suspect Benjamin Harris getting out of a car and holding something in his hand. Waits immediately noticed what he was wearing.
On the back of his t-shirt, I said, oh my God. I was telling my son, I said, it's a Palm Beach RV t-shirt. What in the world? I mean, we were shocked.
Palm Beach RV near West Palm Beach happens to be the business of Bill Waits' older brother, and Waits says Harris is an employee there. He says Harris disappeared a few days after the fire. He called his brother Larry, but has not heard back. Harris is a convicted arsonist and has served serious time in prison. He was convicted in 2005 for a chain of arson-related fires in St. Lucie County and one in West Palm Beach. The 54-year-old was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison.
Why would they hire an arson? If they dug a little deeper, he'd burn an RV place in Fort Pierce.
Right now, there is an active warrant for Harris's arrest for 10 counts of second-degree arson in connection to last weekend's fire, which cost about $350,000 in damage.
I really like to know why. You know, I really don't have a clue. I've never seen the guy. I've never met him in my life.
Now, we tried, but Larry with Palm Beach RV could not be reached for comment tonight. Again, anyone with information, they're urged to call 911. Reporting live tonight in Riviera Beach, Lily Ortiz, CBS 12 News on the CW 34.
All right, Lily, thank you. And we also learned tonight that in 2007, a judge sentenced Harris to more than 11 years in federal prison for setting 26 fires in 2 counties happening in upstate New York. All right, new at 10 tonight, fired up over broken fire hydrants. Tonight, a retired firefighter is sounding the alarm, saying several hydrants near his home are not working. That's something he says needs to be done before it's too late. CBS 12's Vincent Crivelli joining us live near Lake Worth tonight with why this problem isn't an easy fix. Vince.
Retired firefighter Steve Carr says it's simple. Fire hydrants are there to save your life and protect your property. But now when he walks outside his home, he sees this bag in the community with several others. And now he fears for his family's safety.
Not
It's disturbing.
in
Horrendous.
service.
It's a nightmare.
At least 4 fire hydrants in one neighborhood covered in bags.
I have seen fatalities in fires before.
Retired Lake Worth firefighter Steve Carr calls Lake Osborne Estates home.
We are unprotected.
Carr says he's concerned because the fire hydrant by his home hasn't worked in at least 2 years. The closest working one, hundreds of feet away.
Trying to get a relay set up so they can pump from the nearest working hydrant. This house is going to be gone by the time they get the water flowing.
A city spokesman tells us there are about 20 working fire hydrants in his neighborhood, and workers found the broken ones during a recent routine flushing. The city did not say how long they've been out of service, but says they'll be replaced in the coming weeks.
A fire hydrant with no water in it leaves a lot of parents around here worried.
The average cost to replace a fire hydrant is about $5,000. The city sets aside $50,000 every year to replace hydrants. However, Carr says the more time it takes to fix, the more lives at risk.
I don't want to lose a house, but even more, I don't want to lose a child because of a non-working fire hydrant.
And another problem here, the city of Lake Worth recently discovered these broken fire hydrants are connected to asbestos piping. The city says it's in the process of replacing that piping, but could not provide me with a timeline. For now, reporting live in Lake Worth, Vincent Crivelli, CBS 12 News on the CW 34.
All right, weather-wise, we are pretty quiet on this Thursday evening. All of the earlier storms have pushed inland. The West Coast saw a lot of activity this evening and a few little streamer showers out in the Atlantic, so we can't rule out the possibility of a stray shower overnight. But you can see on the water vapor loop, this is our next weather maker. Drier air working into place for Friday, which means our rain chances will be limited with a lot of sunshine too. So we're tracking that drier air, but look further to the east, and there you can see moist air that will be moving in for the weekend. Friday morning, wake up temps already mid-70s inland, upper 70s to near 80 at the coast, and by the lunch hour, temperatures in the upper 80s. Now, coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have your weekend breakdown, and we'll have a tropical update. We're watching two systems in the tropics. Paul?
All right, Kate, a breaking news update right now coming to us out of Riviera Beach. The search for a gunman intensifying tonight. Here's the scene late this afternoon. Police say a guy shot and killed a man and left another man injured in a strip mall here on Martin Luther King Boulevard. The victim who survived is in the hospital tonight with possible life-threatening injuries. Right now, another local man is dead after authorities say he was stabbed after fighting with a woman in their home in West Palm Beach. Happening in the middle of the day today. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office telling us investigators are speaking with the woman about her possible role in the stabbing. Neighbors say the man and woman had just recently moved into that complex. Tonight, brothel bust. The man police believe is the alleged leader of a West Palm Beach prostitution ring is behind bars. Police say this guy right here, Domingo Diaz, forced women to come to Florida from other countries and work as prostitutes. And if they didn't come, police say, one victim says he would threaten to kill their family. Now, police conducting several surveillance operations at 4 homes, all within a few miles of each other. In all, police arresting 4 men in connection with this prostitution ring. We turn now to the algae emergency, blue, green, and toxic. And today, one local organization took matters into their own hands to find out how the algae is affecting human health. Dozens of people got tested today by scientists with Harbor Branch. They took blood, nasal swabs, and urine samples, all to test for microstin, the toxin in blue-green algae. The samples taken at Florida Sportsman in Stewart, since many people in that area have symptoms of algae exposure.
Given the opportunity, I jumped on it because if we're not testing and we're not bringing to light the potential harm in living and working near the water, then it'll continue.
Scientists hoping this study will give them some much needed answers, but one thing is for sure, it certainly will take some time. On the state's west coast, look at this. The red tide has made breathing difficult for people living there. And instead of tourists, popular beaches now packed with dead fish and turtles. Respiratory problems are being reported in at least 25 places. Wildlife officials believe the water will move north and closer to shore during the next 3 days. You might recall this on Monday, Governor Rick Scott declaring a state of emergency in 7 Florida counties. Well, we all know the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? But sometimes video is even better. Today, the Martin and St. Lucie sheriffs came together to announce their partnership with the home surveillance system Ring. It's part of their iWatch program, stressing video has helped solve so many cases and can even deter crime. Now we talk with one Stewart mother who has Ring, and she says she loves it.
It's very, very comforting, and it's good to know that it records everything so that if we do have an incident, we have the video that we can show to the police or whomever to say, this is who you need to look for.
That mother went on to say the peace of mind is worth every penny. Ring even has its own neighbor app that sends you an alert from neighbors and deputies, and you don't have to have one of their cameras to actually have that app. From her star in Hollywood to the Apollo Theater in New York City, tributes pouring in today for the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, as the world learns of her death this morning. Her career spanned 5 decades with more than 100 songs hitting the Billboard charts and 17 top 10 hits. Franklin, battling advanced pancreatic cancer. Aretha Franklin, dead tonight at the age of 76. Now, according to WebMD, the type of tumor Franklin had is very rare. It's found in about 6% of pancreatic cancer cases and tends to grow very slowly. Unfortunately, sometimes symptoms may not show up until the case is advanced. Social media scam, an alarming ad popping up on your Facebook feed tonight. The victim's word of warning for everyone and the red flags to watch out for. Hey, Kate.
Hey, Paul, we are tracking the tropics on this Thursday evening. We have 2 systems we're watching. Will either one of them pose a threat to South Florida? I'll have the answer coming up after the break.
All right, Kate, then getting your money back, how you can get a refund if you were charged overdraft fees during the SunPass maintenance mess. But first, a story from our news partners at Circa.
The number of drug overdose deaths in the United States hit a record high in 2017, according to provisional numbers provided by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's about a 10% increase from 2016.
Well, when you really get through all the data, what you find is that the fentanyl, or the synthetic opioids, which are hundreds and sometimes thousands of times more powerful than morphine, is really the reason for these spikes in overdose deaths.
The data provides the first look into the epidemic since the Trump administration intervened. In 2017, President Trump declared the ongoing drug crisis a public health emergency, and soon after, the Department of Health and Human Services said it would administer hundreds of millions of dollars in grant money to all 50 states. And estimates suggest that some states are doing better than others. Some states in New England hit hardest by the epidemic, like Rhode Island and Massachusetts, are actually seeing fewer overdoses.
The government money is helping, and now I think we're really going to see an impact because it's starting to finally get into the infrastructure of the epidemic.
More and more Americans are overdosing on powerful synthetic opioids like fentanyl as opposed to heroin, cocaine, and other prescription pills.
I am concerned about, west of the Mississippi, that we may see an uptick in these overdose deaths as the black tar heroin starts to contain more and more fentanyl. This fentanyl is so deadly.
For Circa in Washington, I'm Julia Bacano.
Way FM, proud partner of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to.
Welcome back. A great grandmother wants to warn others tonight after she almost lost thousands of dollars online. The woman telling us she saw an ad on Facebook for an electric massage chair for a rock bottom price. Now, she clicked on it and put in her name and then her credit card number. Instead of getting the chair, yes, she got a call from her bank saying someone in London at a high-end jewelry store was trying to make a $7,000 purchase with her card. Fortunately, that purchase was not approved and the woman did not lose any money.
I was upset that somebody's trying to take advantage of my mom.
The Better Business Bureau says before buying anything online, do your homework and check out the company first. They can also tell you if the company has a history of complaints. New at 10 tonight, important news for anyone with life-threatening allergies. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, has approved the first generic version of the EpiPen to Teva Pharmaceuticals USA. Now, the EpiPen is used to save kids and adults with dangerous allergic reactions. The company that sells the EpiPen drew intense criticism, you might remember this, a few years ago when it hiked the price to $600 for a package of 2. The FDA says the new product should help lower the cost. An update now on the SunPass maintenance mess that lasted for months. Starting today, SunPass customers may submit requests for overdraft fee reimbursements online at sunpass.com. So how do you qualify? Well, you must submit bank records that show the overdraft fees happening sometime between June 11th and August 17th. Customers can have a check mailed to them or their SunPass account credited. New York University medical students getting some life-changing news today. Free tuition for all, yes. The announcement made at the end of the annual white coat ceremony where new medical students are given white lab coats to mark the start of the program. The school hopes to ease the overwhelming debt from school loans and attract a more diverse class. Standing is the new sitting. In tonight's 10:15 Difference, Linda Figueredo explains why some employees are getting the option to stand during their workday.
Sitting for 8 hours a day can have an impact, and now one company is giving employees another option. It's tonight's 10:15 Difference.
We had the opportunity to take a look at our configurations, and we said, wouldn't it be great if we installed sit-stand workstations for everyone?
The company ESL is going floor by floor at its headquarters in New York, giving each employee one of these motorized sit-stand desks.
We are very conscious in general of having a conducive work environment, and sit-stand stations are just going to help us make it that much better for everyone.
Employee Patty Green notices a difference. Her entire workspace rises, computer, phone, even outlets.
Just having the computer up, that's not enough for every job. You actually need the workspace to move up with you, so this makes a big difference.
Studies show sitting too much can increase the risk of things like heart disease and diabetes. And recent findings from UCLA say it may impact parts of our brain critical to memory. At ESL, it's about the overall wellness of employees. And it doesn't hurt that it seems to be improving productivity.
Some have said they feel much more focused when they're standing versus sitting all day long.
8 hours is a long time to be seated.
Standing desks are becoming more of a trend, and many stores now offer them. And you can also purchase one online. With your 10:15 difference, I'm Linda Figueredo.
All right, your Storm Track forecast here now. Kate Wenzel is here. And Kate, for me at least, another hot day. Maybe not for you or some of you out there.
Oh, no, it's hot. I went for a jog, and it was pretty steamy.
It lasted 10 minutes because it was so hot?
Yeah, right? Well, I had to walk, take breaks. But tomorrow,
hydrated.
more of the same.
Oh,
so,
boy.
you know, we're going to round out the work week on a hot note. But rain chances fairly limited as we head into your Friday. Right now across West Palm Beach, we are quiet, and it's still 83 degrees. You factor in the humidity, and it feels like 90%. Yeah, so it's pretty hot out there still at this late hour. Now, the radar pretty much quiet, except some storms we are tracking well offshore. But a few of these coastal streamers could push onshore overnight. So just less than a 10% chance of seeing those stray showers. Now, Thursday for the rest of the evening looking pretty good. Overnight, we'll see just a few little blips of moisture there on the Futurecast. As we head into Friday, 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little stray shower here or there, but virtually dry for your morning commute. Then in the afternoon, we'll start to see a little activity developing in the afternoon, but that will quickly push inland anything we do see develop, and really pretty nice throughout the afternoon. Now, high temperatures, once again, low 90s. Average high for this time of year is 90 degrees, so 91 Boca Raton, 91 degrees for the folks in Delray Beach, 91 Boynton Beach, Wellington, steamy at 93, Belle Glade at 93 degrees as well. Across the Treasure Coast, those temperatures there in the low 90s, 91 Palm Beach Gardens, 93 Jupiter Farms, and West Palm Beach, 92 degrees. The Treasure Coast, low 90s as well. Port St. Lucie, 93, Okeechobee, 93, Vero Beach, 92. We are tracking Tropical Storm Ernesto, but no worries. It's moving away from us. It's moving to the northeast at 18, and it's moving at 45. Well, actually, it has maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, headed toward Ireland, but just as a weak low. So it might bring some rain and winds to the folks in Ireland. The other wave we're watching still has about a 20% chance of developing. It's located about 600 miles to the southeast of the Windward Islands. Now, ahead, conditions do not look favorable for in developing more, so we're not too concerned about that wave, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Drier air working into the region as we head into a Friday, looking pretty good, but behind it, some moisture, and that's going to keep our rain chances increasing Saturday and Sunday. So the timing might not be perfect, but it won't be a washout either day. We'll just see about a 50% chance of showers and storms. All right, let's go ahead and take you to tomorrow. 92 degrees, mostly sunny, stray shower, inland storms, but overall about a 20% chance of seeing that rain. Average wind speeds will be pretty low over the next few days, generally less than 12 miles per hour. And for the boaters, we're going to see seas right around 2 feet with isolated morning showers. Here's your 7-day forecast for the weekend is always in view. 50% chance of storms Saturday, 60% for Sunday.
Look at that weekend, Kate. Okay, thank you so much. Coming up, the new deadly tick virus threatening America. Then a survivor's story from Mount St. Helens, how this missing man stayed alive for days. All that and more coming up next. New tonight, scientists are warning of a new tick that's causing a deadly fever in Mexico, and now Yeah, it's heading towards the U.S. Researchers said the infection known as Rocky Mountain spotted fever is moving up towards the border. It's a bacterial infection that can lead to the amputation of limbs, hearing loss, paralysis, even death. The infection is usually spread by two similarly related ticks, but this time an unrelated species is to blame, one more likely to bite people. Turning to a consumer alert right now, a new app could boost your phone's battery life by 30%. That's right, 30%. The Android app called MultiDroid helps reduce the amount of energy consumed when people use Android's multi-window tool. And that, of course, allows users to run several apps all at the same time. It works by dialing down the brightness of non-critical applications, and that limits the amount of energy eaten up. Test drive trouble. A car plowing into a dealership, leaving major damage behind. You think? The mistake police say that driver made. We're learning more tonight about a man who managed to survive and, get this, all while lost near Mount St. Helens for nearly a week. 40-year-old Matthew Metheny was visiting from Ohio a week ago, but his friends had to work, so he decided to spend the day at Mount St. Helens. Sounds like a good idea. Well, after a few hours, he realized he was lost. He survived, he says, by eating berries, even bees. The man's parents say his skills as an Eagle Scout and as a nurse kept him alive until rescuers found him. Doctors say aside from being a little dehydrated, he's pretty much okay. And when it comes to fender benders behind the wheel, whoa, how many of you can relate to that? Well, look at what happened in southern China when a woman took a car out for a ride at a BMW dealership. She apparently meant to hit the brakes, but instead, as you see, hit the gas. The good news out of all this, no one seriously injured. Up next tonight, burgers, brats, hot dogs, fries, and more. There's a lot that goes into that pound burger. Do you have what it takes to eat it? The prize up for grabs. If you can finish it, that's next.
CBS 12 News outerwear is provided by Under Armour.
A runaway parent in London had some choice words, shall we say, for firefighters. After escaping and spending several days on the roof, fire officials climbed up and tried to coax the bird down. The name is Jessie, by the way. But that's when Jessie, fire officials say, began cursing at them. Yes, wonder where Jessie learned to curse. After the flying fowl let the foul language fly, she flew away and eventually flew home. Thanks to Jeremy, our producer, for writing that one. And what a gut buster. Look at that. The Arizona Cardinals offering the $75 Gridiron Burger Challenge at the University of Phoenix Stadium this season. Here's how it stacks up if you can't see it already. 5 burger patties, 5 all-beef hot dogs, 5 bratwurst, 20 slices of American cheese, 8 slices of bacon, 8 chicken fingers, 12 ounces of fries, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and sauce on a 10-inch bun. Fans who finish it in less than an hour get a Cardinals jersey and their picture on the scoreboard. I don't know about you, Kate, but I couldn't eat that myself.
I couldn't. I was thinking that'd be fun to get with like 6 friends sitting around picking at that one burger. I think that would work out pretty good.
Party.
Weather-wise, Friday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Sunrise at 6:53, mostly sunny with nothing more than a random shower. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. As we head into Saturday and Sunday, our rain chances do increase, but it won't be a washout. And then a little drier as we head into next work week, staying warm. High temperatures mainly in the low 90s, just a shade cooler Saturday and Sunday.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. And our chief political analyst, Boris Epstein, tonight now weighs in with his opinion.
In the Trump administration, the Environmental Protection Agency has 2 missions. 1, to get rid of unnecessary regulations. 2, to make sure that our environment is clean and safe. I spoke to acting administrator of the EPA, Andrew Wheeler, about how they balance those 2 priorities. Here's what he told me.
Some of our regulations have been on the books 30, 40 plus years. And what we need to make sure is that some of those regulations aren't actually causing a negative impact on the environment, because some of them sometimes inhibits people from installing cleaner technologies. So what we want to do is make sure we have a common sense approach to make sure that people can install the cleanest technologies possible. To make sure that the air and the water continue to get better. I would say it's more making sure that we're doing the right thing and the smart thing. When we look at a standard, when we look at cleaning up a Superfund site, for example, we're trying to get rid of the attorneys that have been slowing down the process and getting the sites cleaned up faster so we can get sites more in productive use for the American public.
Here's the bottom line. The Trump administration and the EPA specifically are working hard to thread the needle and make sure that they get rid of the unnecessary, stifling regulations while also ensuring that we live in a safe and clean environment. Share with me your bottom line. Send me an email at bottomline@sbgtv.com and let me know your thoughts on today's segment.
And thank you for spending 34 minutes of your evening with us here on the CW. Daily Mail TV is next, and be sure to join Liz Garantes and I coming up for CBS 12 News at 11. Until then, for these next 25 minutes, have a good night as we leave you with exclusive SkyTeam 12 drone video.